Hi, my name's Daniel. Welcome to the Allocating vlog. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about the return of fans to St Andrews following the coronavirus pandemic. Let's face it, 2020 has been a complete shit show of a year. The coronavirus pandemic has forced the country into restricting the movement of people to an absolute minimum. The nation's collective mental and physical health has taken a battering, not to mention the economy. As Blues fans, it's been tough. We've not been able to see the team in person for nearly 9 months now. However, it looks like there will be light at the end of the tunnel. Talk of vaccines has people hoping that normality will return soon. And following the end of national restrictions on December 2, it was confirmed that football clubs will be able to admit fans again depending on what tier of restrictions they're in. So how's it going to work? Following the end of national restrictions, England has been split into 3 tiers. The worst affected areas will be in Tier 3, like Birmingham, while those areas which are slightly better off will be in Tier 2, and the least affected areas will be in Tier 1. Fans will only be allowed into stadiums in Tier 1 and Tier 2. Capacity in stadiums in Tier 1 will be limited to 4,000 fans or 50% capacity, whichever is the smaller, while in Tier 2 it will be 2,000 fans or 50% capacity, whichever is smaller. Tier 3 fans will still not be allowed. As the situation stands on December the 3rd, no grounds in the Premier League or the EFL will be in Tier 1, while Birmingham in Tier 3 means that Blues will have to wait until the first review date, which is December 16, before the club's allowed to admit fans. So the soonest that Blues will be able to watch a game at St Andrews would be the Borough game on December 19. Tiers will be reviewed every 2 weeks. While they're due to be in place until at least February, there is always a possibility that England will be hit with a third wave of infections and the whole system will be scrapped once again in favour of national restrictions. We have to hope that doesn't happen. Now, assuming Birmingham can exit Tier 3 on December 16, what would happen then? Before the club can even think about selling tickets, they have to get St Andrews signed off by the Safety Advisory Group, or SAG as it's known. The SAG includes representatives from the Emergency Services and Birmingham City Council and has a responsibility of signing off safety certification for the stadium. The club would have to prove to the SAG that what measures it has taken to make the ground COVID secure before it receives that safety certification to open. Unfortunately, we've got no idea where Blues are on this. On November 26, there was an official statement on the club website where the club said that they were frustrated they couldn't allow fans in, and I'll quote this bit: they will be working alongside the local safety authorities to put plans in place in preparation of the safe return of supporters. Now, there's been no further updates since then, which means if Borough does move down to Tier 2 on December 16, it's going to be a rush to get supporters in for the Borough game on December 19. Safety isn't the only issue as well. The other question is going to be how the club decide who they allocate the 2,000 tickets available to if and when Birmingham enters Tier 2 and the SAG signs off safety certification. Now, if I'm honest, it's not a decision I would fancy making myself because there are going to be people unhappy no matter what they do. I think there are going to be 4 subsets of supporters the club needs to take into account when making the decision on how the ballot for 2,000 tickets would work. Now, some fans might think the fairest solution will be to hold a ballot of all the season ticket holders last year and, 2,000 of those get tickets. But there are logistic problems with that. If you think about it, a lot of people go with friends and family, and it might be difficult if only one of that group, that friendship group or family group, gets offered a ticket. There may be logistic problems there. So it's going to be difficult, I think, to do that. Another option would be to go with the hardcore, as it were, the away travel fans. Now, this might be easier because the away travel fans are graded based on how many away games they've been to. So you've got platinum and gold and silver, etc. So it might make it easier and fairer to operate a ballot using that. The third group of fans to consider are corporate. Now, I know people are going to dismiss them as the prawn sandwich brigade, but corporate fans are actually quite important because they bring a lot of money into the club, box holders and sponsors and people like that. And a thought appears in my head that boxes are probably going to be easier to make COVID secure because you can limit the number of people who go in each one, and they're going to be easier to space people out in. I'm sure that they will have to look after corporate fans as part of these 2,000 tickets. Now, the final subset of fans is one that I don't think people have thought of, but it's also potentially the most problematic. Now, back in April, May, when Birmingham City realised that they were going to have to sort out season ticket holders for last year, they offered credit against season tickets this season, which of course hasn't happened. We haven't sold any season tickets, and there are fans who took that credit who are understandably thinking, well, I've got money that I need that I haven't got back and I want it back. So it might be an idea for the club to offer tickets in the ballot to those fans, because it will reduce the amount of credit owing and it keeps them sweet and keeps them on side. The big question for me really is it even worth going if I got one of these tickets? Now, I'll be honest with you, it's been some time since I was a season ticket holder, so I have got zero chance of being in a ballot for tickets. And I'm okay with that because, the truth be told, I wouldn't want to go. I put up a poll on Twitter asking this very question: if Birmingham entered Tier 2 and 2,000 tickets were available, even with all the restrictions in place, would you want to go? And the split was about 55-45 in favour of going. That was from about 800 votes. Now, if I'm honest, I think that figure might have been more in favour of people wanting to go if the football was a little bit better, the team was in better form, and people weren't entertaining the thought of sitting in a set seat, not being able to sing, not being able to chant, not being able to go with their friends to the pub beforehand in the freezing cold. Yeah, I can understand why people might be a bit against it. It's a difficult position, and it's a difficult position for the clubs to be in as well. No one's going to make any money out of offering 2,000 tickets to fans. It's going to be more of a symbolic thing to bring fans back than a commercial decision to make money. When it comes down to it, the hope has to be that vaccines will arrive and some sort of normality will return. It's been 9 months now, and coronavirus has hit football really hard. Birmingham City are lucky because they've got the Jude Bellingham money, but other clubs in the Championship and further down the pyramid are really struggling, and they need fans back. Until we've got vaccines until vaccines are actually fully in place and large-scale restrictions can be dropped, this is the situation we're in. We have to make the best of it, and we have to hope that things will be better. If you like this video, please click the like button, and if you want to see more of me talking about Birmingham City, about the owners, about how the club is run, please subscribe. And if you click the little bell, it'll tell you whenever I go online with a new video. Thanks for watching. Till next time, keep right on.